What's going on, everyone? Kurtzing here with a Fantasy Cup battle video. I'm a bit late getting it out. It ended today around noon or 1 o'clock my time. I did these battles a couple days ago, and then I was wanting to do more battles to add to the video, but I wasn't able to get to it. So I figured I would do this video up with these battles. It was a lot of fun. Didn't really climb with it, but ton of fun to play with. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, we got Bisharp on the lead, Escavalier as the closer, and Clefable as the safer swap. Bisharp is running Snarl, Iron Head, and Dark Pulse. Escavalier is running Counter, Acid Spray, and Drill Run. And then Clefable is running Fairy Wind, Dazzling Gleam, and Meteor Mash. So right into the first battle, I'm against a Slurpuff. I'm snarling away here. I've got to a move, but I want them to throw first, and I'm going to shield this flamethrower, and then I would decide if they jump right away, I'll throw, or I won't throw, and if they stay in, I want to get to almost back-to-back burn heads, and then I'm going to throw the first one, and I'm curious to know what opponents know what I have move-wise, because it's not very common that you see a Bisharp in any league. So they let that first one go through, they let the second one go through, and then they bring in their own Escavalier. I'm very slow on switching out, and I switched into my Clefable. Probably not the right one to switch into, but they have their own Clefable in the back. So I do throw the Meteor Mash, and that does get their first shield. And by this time they've got a move as well, and I believe that I need to respect the Meteor Mash, but I decided to let it go. It does massive damage, and I'm farming up. I get to another Meteor Mash. I think at this point I was deciding to let it go because I do still have the Bisharp in the back, and I was wanting to get their shields. So I get their last shield, they're going to throw here, going to let this go, and then I should be able to bring in my Bisharp again. And I don't remember, but I think I'm close to another move. So there I'm at another Iron Head, and this will do massive damage. I don't know if it quite takes out, but it'll do a lot. So I throw that, it doesn't quite take him out, and they have another move, so that'll be good. Let this go, and then I'll have my Escavalier. We'll be able to get a little bit of farm before they have theirs come back in. I think they're probably going to try to switch, but they do stay in and let me farm them all the way down. So now I am in a good position here. I should be able to safely shield, or I'll take a Drill Run and be able to shield. Looking at it now, probably the safer bet there would have been to let the first one go through in case they used an Acid Spray, and then shield up the potential Drill Run. But at this point, I believe I could still just live a Drill Run, but I'm able to get to another one myself and take them out. So that's a good game to my opponent. So Bisharp, the reason I picked it, I know it's pretty spicy, but there's not a lot of dark in this meta. I believe Guzzlord might be the only other dark type, and with all the dragons and stuff like that. And then Bisharp also is part steel, which resists the fairies, and it's a great answer for the dragons, so I figured I would give it a try. It is really weak to fire and fighting. Don't really see a lot of that in here, other than, as you just saw there, a superpower. There are a lot of Pokemon that do have fighting typing moves, and a fair amount of fairies like the Slurpuff and stuff like that do have access to fire moves, like Flamethrower. So I wouldn't recommend using it to climb with, other than maybe, like I said, you could pick a little bit better team, but I went with that Escavalier because it's a pretty solid pick, other than, again, fire. You're double weak to the fire now with that, and Bisharp. And then Clefable can pretty much hit most of the meta for neutral or super effective damage, and it doesn't really need a lot of shields other than against steel types. But Bisharp's a really glass cannon. Escavalier is not super tanky. Clefable's not super tanky either. So I did end up running into some issues. I did go 3 and 2 the first set that I ran, and then it didn't go very good the next few. That's why I was going to try to do a few more battles to try to get a better, like a more solid set to showcase. But anyways, I've talked almost all the way through this battle here. So bringing my Escavalier into their Melmetal, and I believe this is going to be a superpower. I do choose to let it go. That bug typing helps resist some of that superpower damage. And here I do think I shield this one up. Looking back at it again, I probably should have shielded the first one, and then they bait me with a double Iron Head, or a double Iron Bash. Still able to take them out. And the Tapu Fini comes back in. I just want to hold my energy, farm them down. And now it's great. Doesn't matter what comes in. I'm loaded on energy. I'm going to throw this Acid Spray. I think I have 2. They do shield the first one, and now they're out of shield, so I do go for the Drill Run instead of another Acid Spray. So I throw that. It does a huge amount of damage, and then I believe that they just give up. They know that... Oh, so, yeah. I catch the Psychic Fangs? Or an Earthquake. Yeah, just Psychic Fangs. And at that point, they gave up. So they knew that the game was over. So good game to my opponent there. And we'll jump right into the next battle here. Definitely had a lot of fun with Bisharp though. It hits super hard. I was really surprised. I haven't played with one yet. I built this one specifically for this particular team and battles and stuff like that. And then like I said, I only got I think I did 3 sets with it or something. Ironhead gets shielded, and then I bring in my own Clefable into their Zacian. They're farming up a lot of energy, and you can see there they're using Fire Fang. So that was tearing through my Bisharp. So I go for a Meteor Mash. They let that go through. It almost one-shots. Massive damage. And I'm going to let this move go through. Play Rough. It does a decent chunk, but I'm still okay. I'm still in the yellow. They've got a Alolan Sandslash in the back. So I do make a Meteor Mash, and this is going to do a decent chunk of damage, or grab a shield. So they decided to let that go through. Doesn't quite do half, but it does a nice amount of chip. So now I can safely bring in my Escavalier, and it will just demolish that Sandslash. I do respect the first move in case it's the Drill Run, and it is the Drill Run. So shield that, and then they bring back in their Primarina, and I'm going to go straight for the Acid Spray. They switched in, so they're locked in, and also the poison is super effective against Fairy, so they do shield that. And now I can bring Bisharp back in. I don't know why I stood there. I lagged or something, but I'm still able to just reach the Iron Head, and this should take out the Primarina. Just so much damage. Sandslash comes back in, takes out my Bisharp. I bring my Escavalier back in. I do believe that a shield is up. Yes, I do. It's another Drill Run, and from this health, I should be able to just farm down. I'll live another Drill Run if they get there, and if not, they get taken out there. So, good game to my opponent there. Jump right into the next match. Have what is that thing? Escadrille on the lead for my Bisharp. And again with this team, I was kind of thinking like, well, I could lead with a different Pokemon, maybe Clefable or something like that, and then use one of the 2 Steel types to draw out the hardest counter for it and stuff like that. So I think there is potential. Just like I said, I ran out of time. I didn't have time to tweak it too much. So I throw a Dark Pulse there. It does get the shield. Here I'm going to double shield. drill run would take me out. Super effective. So I'm able to get to another Dark Pulse, and let's see if they wanted to commit bow shields here. They don't, so that takes out the Escadrille. And then they have a Tapu Fini in the back. I'm able to get to an Iron Head before they get to a move. I believe one Surf will just take me out. Iron Head doesn't do quite half. Does a nice chunk though. They're going to throw a Surf here, I do believe. With the typing, actually, I was impressed too with Bisharp, that even though it is a dark typing, charms and fairy moves and stuff like that, they're still, they'd be neutral. So if it's a hard hitting move like Charm, it still does chunk. But with the steel typing, it resists the fairy moves, so did well in that regard. So here they're going to throw another move. I wasn't paying attention, but I think it's just a Surf. It is. So that gets me deep into the red. I should just be able to reach a Meteor Mash. So I'm able to throw this, and this will either take out the Tapu Fini. It does take it out. Oh, they're out of shields anyway, so yeah, it takes them out. I was going to say I would get their last shield. In the back, they've got a Florges, and I bring in my Escav. I want to get to an Acid Spray because they can't switch out. It's their last Pokemon, so it doesn't matter. Might as well debuff them as much as I can. They go for a Moonblast. That does a big chunk. Gets me right into the yellow right off the hop. Going for this Acid Spray. Obviously it's Acid Spray, so it doesn't do a lot of damage. And then I bring Bisharp back in, and again I was kind of slow on this move here, I believe, unless I was locked in. I didn't pay attention to that. I take the Disarming Voice, and now I'm able to come in, and they're still debuffed, and I go for the Drill Round, and that should take them out. And that'll be another good game. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really had a lot of fun with this team. See you in the next one.